Here's the audience.
Okay, my name is Nathan Barton, and I'm going to be doing a persuasive speech about drones and the future of aviation. To start, drones are really important for three reasons. They are very useful for commercial applications, which I'll talk about with applications for that. They're also useful in medical scenarios, and even though that there's some regulations with the FAA that need to be figured out, with time those will be figured out, and drones will be able to enter the U.S. airspace and be able to be useful to our society. So to start, commercial drones will be very beneficial in two ways. Economic benefits: integrating drones into the national airspace system will add over $82 billion to the economy by 2025. It will also create 34,000 manufacturing jobs and 70,000 other jobs in the first 3 years, with a total of about 104,000 new jobs by 2025. All this information is from Bijan Visa, who is a professor at Embry-Riddle University, which is an aeronautical university in Florida. There are many areas of application. As you can see here, we're calling like wildfire management, thermal infrared power line surveying. That's really useful because sending a drone up to survey power lines is much different than sending someone up there who can get hurt by the power lines. Just aerial imaging and mapping, that's a big part of it. Oil and gas exploration, all these stuff are very obvious applications of it. One specific application is this medical application, so watch the video about it. I'll be talking through it just because you do that way. So this is a drone that's being used in Rwanda to deliver medical supplies. So what they do is they have like a centralized location that can reach these far out areas, and they will send the drones out. So this is the guy talking about it. You don't need to listen to him using the app. Whoops. I want you to see the launching. Here it is. So they get the supplies, which is like blood or medical supplies. They load it up in the box. They put it into the drone. They load the drone up. So that's a completely electric drone. So it all runs off the batteries that they charge and they put on the craft. It's got I think it's like a 10-foot wingspan, which is really crazy. It's like 45 pounds. It can carry like 3 pounds of whatever you need it to. And then they just put it on the zip line and it just shoots it away. That gets it up to cruise speed, so they don't have to spend time or energy of the battery getting it to cruise speed. It flies to wherever it needs to go. It's fully autonomous. I think they direct the travel from a centralized system, and they just tell it where to go. And they can hit a target of about like 2 parking spaces big. And you'll see it here. It'll drop it and have a little parachute that'll come out. And then the doctors will go and pick up what they need. So if it's like blood supplies or anything they need from the centralized area, this has been able to help Rwanda in a lot of different ways. And then to catch it, so the drone will then autonomously turn around and come back, and they'll snag it like this, so they don't have to worry about in a landing zone. They can just catch it like that. He's just going to keep yapping about it, but that's basically it. Conservation applications. One sec. One big way that they're being used is a company called Drone Seed. They have these giant drones that are like 8 feet wide, and they take pucks that are like a hockey puck almost. They have seeds mixed into them and dirt and fertilizer, and they'll load them up in these like giant magazines, and they'll send these drones. They'll scan the area with one drone, and then they'll send these over places that have been hit by wildfire, and they'll drop these little pucks and they'll help replant, because it's really useful. They say they can, after wildfires hit, they can get out there in as soon as 30 days to replant, and that's really useful because it's pretty hard to get out there as humans, because we had to traverse the terrain and plant, but we can send these drones out to more accurately cover the area. All this information is from an article by Lisa Stiffer, who is from Northwestern and the University of Washington. Another specific example is the use of drones in agriculture. So in bovine, like herding cattle or imaging them and figuring out how many there are and tagging them, keeping track of them. So drones hold significant promise for wildlife monitoring, equipped with remote sensors and integrated with positioning technology. Drones can capture extensive remote sensing data, generating high-definition images with spatial resolution accurate to centimeters or even millimeters. So this is all from author Kwambo Yan, who has a degree in aerospace engineering from North China Institute of Aerospace Engineering. As you can see, there's pictures of drones kind of herding the cattle, marking where they are, and being able to help with that. But the downside is that commercial drones are obviously hard to implement because of how hard it is to make them work in the airspace. So we have other things that are flying in the air that we need to worry about. So one thing that we need, that the FAA hasn't agreed on standards for drone technology to avoid other aircraft and ensure reliable communication with ground stations. This is obviously an issue because you don't want drones colliding with commercial aircraft or private aircraft or anything like that. That can get in the way of some stuff. It also has a set of rules for drone integration like certification, air traffic procedures, or training programs. So right now, officially, you're supposed to get certifications to fly drones, but that's not very well regulated because it's hard to track a drone and figure out who's flying it, and it's hard to kind of regulate that. So officially, you're supposed to get a license to do so, but it's hard to do that, so they're working on that. And also, the FAA isn't efficiently analyzing drone safety data to identify risks. So it'll take a while before commercial drones are being able to be used in our airspace, but I think it's definitely possible. Now is the time when drones operating are currently still limited. The FAA can build critical knowledge by collecting and analyzing drone safety data and better managing its oversights through the Drones Integration Office. And all this information is from Tamara Thompson, who is an author who writes about current controversies and things that affect them. So that's my speech about drones. Thank you for listening.